please be the case. Wow, that's gonna be so wild. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it is just laggy. Okay, but my folders aren't all loaded in yet. Oh, there you go. Okay, so CHFJPY, like you can see, same same as last night, right? We're in the middle of the zone, the top of the bottom, right? We had a change of character, looking for the break of structure to happen, and we're still consolidating between the 800 EMA, right? And in between the zones. So the fact that we didn't complete this trend, which was getting a change of character and a break of structure, and price just started testing these highs, not going to be looking to take a trade. Also, let's update what we our 4-hour candle here. My bad, let me do that here. So this one is green, cool, is following structure. This one, right? So Euro CAD, we had a change of character. So now we know that we're trading between this high and this low. Same thing as CHF right? No trades are taken. We're in between two zones, right in the middle of them. Waiting to see what price wants to do, right? The two options, we have three options technically, right? Option number one, pull back up to our 30-minute zone and our 4-hour zone and look for a change of character up here to continue going down, right? That's option one. Option two would be looking for price to break down below our break of structure, get a retest to continue going down, right? That would be option two. Option three would literally just be price breaking up above the 4-hour and the 30-minute zone and price continuing to trend up, right? So we can see that happening. Euro USD, same as AU, right? Entry opportunity was the exact same thing. Happened at the end of the session, beginning of the session. So price obviously, hit STP, which is 49, right? And then consolidated, broke out of the consolidation, which was beautiful. Again, gave us another entry opportunity, which happened at 4 in the morning, and then continued to go up to ADR. So Euro USD, if you were up all night, cashed out on that. GJ, right? Let's do GJ real quick. And what the fuck? Right, 38.2, 50% retracement. We're still respecting the 38.2 and the 50%. So price is still lower low, lower high. Nonetheless, made a lower low here, right? Why wouldn't I call it an equal low? Because the candle closures were below, right? Even though it is kind of a equal high or equal low, I'm sorry, right? And then now we're wanting to see is price gonna break above. But again, I don't want to see a break. Well, at this point, yeah, because we had this low broke, we have this high here now. So technically, we want to see price break above this high here. Um, GU, same thing as Euro USD and AU, right? Entry again was at the end of the day, start of the session. So no entries for us there. US 30 is the one that moved opposite to what we were talking about, right? I was expecting price to give us a third day of rise, right, which was yesterday. Today I was expecting price. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Um, right after 3 days, I'm expecting price to give us a drop or a no net, right? I want to double confirm: is there a gap in the market, right? Because remember, gaps reset. Gaps reset the pattern, right? The trend, I guess you could say. So on the first day of rise, we had a gap, so it doesn't affect. We had 1 day of rise. On the second day, we had a gap as well. So this reset. So now this turns into a 1 day of rise. This day doesn't have a gap, so this is the second day of rise, and this day technically has a small gap, right? So this third day of rise, technically gave us a third day, right? The same way technically we got a third day here, but because of this here, we got a gap, right? And how do we know it's a gap? This is a green candle, right? This green candle at one point closed up here, right? So where should the red candle open? It should open right next to it. But we could see that this candle closed here and this one opened down here. So for a few seconds, we had a small gap in the opening of the market, right? So technically speaking, right, even if we don't count this gap, we understand why price moved up, right? We had a gap on the second day, made it 1 day a rise, 2 days a rise. If we don't want to call this one a gap, right, we still have the third day. So technically we're still, we're still good. And then same thing for the weeks of drop, right? Yeah, we have 2 weeks of drop, but even on the weeks of drop, on the first week we had a gap, right? So 1 week of drop. On the second week we had a gap as well. Second week, on the third week we also had a third week, or a third, a third gap. So the continuations for the weeks also were invalid. So then in the months, right, the months weren't. The months were picture perfect, right? In the months we had a month of drop, 2 months of drop. This month on the third month gave us a new low, right? And then ended, as you can see, now that we're in the second day of the month, we can see where this candle closed, and it closed on a no net. So we got to drop no net. Now, the fact that we got to drop no net, right? We have a lot of months of data, right? So let's just do the back testing. So when we're counter rising, we're not giving you that third week every single time, right? This week we had 1, 2, 3 rise, 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 drop, rise, right? We had drop, 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 rise, and gave us a drop. So I'm expecting this week, and well, I'm expecting this month to continue this trend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Let's look at that at the on trading view. Right, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We're still trading between, technically, right, in the daily time frame, we're still trading between this break, which gave us this high, and this low. I'm sorry, this high and this low, right? So now that we know that we're still trading between this high and this low, seeing how close price got to the 800 EMA and respected it, didn't even wick it, right? It was just, I mean, it didn't even tap it, right? It missed it by a few pips. So that tells me the same thing that yesterday's pair. What was it? Yesterday's trade with that 30-minute zone that it just tapped and it missed it, right? And then again, using our confluence, using that kind of that mindset, the fact that we have a 30-minute gap down here as well, we know price has to come back down, right? So it really all depends how price wants to move, right? Right now in the internal structure, um, let's talk about the external structure, right? External structure, we had this. Let's go in order, right? We had this high, this low, this high, which then broke. It was this high, this low. This high broke, and it gave us this high and this low, right? That high didn't break anything, as you can see, right? This low broke here, which then gave us that high on the 4 hour and this low, right? Then this low broke and gave us this high and this low, right? At one point, this high was a change of character, right? Thinking that we were going to continue to go up and trend up, but instead we got a change of character, got this low and this high, and the price went right back down and gave us another change of character going down. Our first point of interest in the 4 hour zone, since we got this change of character, was the last green candle that made the push, and in this case it was this one here, right? But we could see price disrespected it and started trending above it. So now our next point of interest in the 4 hour zone is this, obviously just the 4 hour high. So boom, now we have that, right? So now we understand that, okay, price seems like it doesn't want to go up, right? So now we go to the 30-minute and we confirm that, right? We have a change of character, we have the BOS to retest, right? After the retest, that's our entry to continue going up, right? So can price first go into the 4 hour high and then go down? Absolutely. US 30, baby, chilling on that. So we still have this 30-minute gap here at the top as well. So it's just a waiting game, right? It's a waiting game. Does price wanna, go up first, cover the 30-minute gap at the top to then go down? It could do that, right? Price could definitely do that. There's no doubt. So US 30 for us is a skip as well, right? We'll update this later tonight in the isolation class. Today's Thursday too, so oil, right? We already knew what we wanted to see today. We had 3 days of drop, right? The third day was given yesterday, so today we were expecting either price to go up or give us a no net. Now I was expecting price to first give me kind of a new low for the day, go into our 30-minute zone and then start pushing up. But it did the same thing as AEU and all the other pairs. It started the move literally right at the market open during Asia session. Gave us the push up, higher high, higher low, retest of the zone, and continue going up. Um, Gold, same situation. Remember, this was the pair that I called out yesterday in the session. Um, but it was the same thing as the other pairs. Again, just market open at the end of the day, went into our 30-minute zone, right? Again, I couldn't enter this trade because the broker, the spread, it just didn't make sense. Um, but boom, right? Went into the zone. As soon as price went back into the zone, that was the entry that we called out yesterday, for it to then continue to go up, right? And then again, it respected our low 3 different times, making higher lows the 3 different times. So another entry. If you were in the stream yesterday and you had these zones marked, you know what I mean? You cashed out, right? You cashed out yesterday. So you're welcome. um, and then last but not least, we'll look at Bitcoin. Right, we're at 35,000 holding. Continuations, nothing crazy yet. Right now, we still got no nuts going on. We have a day of rise. Still respecting higher highs and higher lows as well. So nothing real here. So that's pretty much it, guys. Um, I said I did want to turn on the stream at least, every day, tune in, right? At least to even if we don't have any trades, right? Even if we don't have any trades, I at least want to turn the stream on, give the reason as to why, right? And really just show you guys I guess you could say, the reality of trading, right? You guys are gonna see the days where we miss trades, right? Like it's happened to us already this week because either we woke up a little bit too late or we simply just didn't enter the trade, right? We just didn't see it in time. Um, Showing you guys the reality of, just a disciplined trader, right? I guess I could say it that way, right? Because again, if I understand that my session to trade, right, I put it in myself to pause to start trading the NYC session, right? Instead of being awake all day, instead of just being awake all night, right? I'm just gonna focus on the NYC session. So if I wake up in the NYC session, everything already did what I had to do. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to start losing trades, right? So it's all good. It's the first week of again. Look, start putting yourself in a mindset where understand where the market and how the market reacts to different days of the week, different weeks of the month. Um, Really try to analyze like what days of the week doesn't work for you, right? Because that's another thing where people in trading, it seems like everybody wants to do the same as everybody else, but the truth is that it really depends who you are, like your personality. Reason I say that is you could always reprogram yourself, right? You could say like, oh, I'm a very what was an example I heard recently? I'll give you one example, right? It was like, oh, like I'm a very anxious person. I don't like trading because I can't just be sitting there. I need to be active. So it's like, okay, cool. Like you know that about yourself. It's something that either you're not willing to change or it's not something that you think you could change, right? If if day trading, I guess, as a swing trader, right? Let's just call what it is, right? Like a swing trader. Um, that you might not be interested in swing trader. You might be more interested in another strategy, right? Which would be um scalping, right? So you could learn a scalping strategy and still be profitable, right? There's strategies for everybody. There's different rules for everybody. It's just about finding the one that works for you, right? So that's pretty much how I trade now, right? I've done hundreds of days of back testing. Um, so the rules that I have, for example, right? I don't really trade Mondays and I don't really trade Fridays. Why is that? because Mondays and Fridays are the days for me that I've lost the most. Now, why? Right? During the years of backtesting and talking to different people and taking different strategies, different courses, watching different videos, um, Mondays and Fridays usually are the days where the market is there to collect contracts, right? It's there to manipulate traders, there to trap you. Um, Same thing with the weeks of the month, right? The first week of the month and the last week of the month, right? That's why you always see the first week of the month and the last week of the month is the weeks where you have the high impact news, right? You have the NFPs, you have the FOMC, you have the speakers of the house speaking. Always the first week of the month, the last week of the month. And it's always the most the volatile weeks. Now, a lot of volume is good, but what's not good is having that much volume counter trading, right? So sometimes you don't want to get trapped in that, right? There'll be weeks in the month as well where it's always either the first or the last week, right? And um that's whenever price starts moving super early. It happens every month. Every month, the beginning of the month or the end of the month, right? If you go and you start back testing, the first week of the month and the last week of the month are always the most volatile weeks of the month. Always. They're always the most volatile and they're always moving super early. So it's just part of the game, right? It's just again, it's understanding the market, right? And the whys. So so far for this one, right? Let's update our GJ. So we had this low, which was the 38.2, right? Once price got into the 38.2, I'm looking for what? I was looking for just a small change of character, right? Did price go below our 30-minute? Yeah, but it was testing it, right? Let's go to the 30-minute zone so you can see it. Price is just testing, closed above, never closed below, right? So the fact that we had four candles here close above, this one was below, closed 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 above. The fact that we had four candles do that, technically you could have always just taken a trade there and have your stop loss at the lowest red candle. So if you saw the first red candle go down and it went up, and then you saw this candle, it went down and then went up. As soon as you saw that this candle closed above the zone, if you want to get in there and then just have your stop loss below the red wick, understanding that you're going to be risking 27 pips, but it's a valid entry, especially on GJ, no doubt. So the next question should be, okay, how would you really start trading this, right? How would you look for an entry? And that's super simple, right? We had this low and this high. This low broke, which then gave us this high, right? And since I don't want to be using the wicks, right? Because I'm not going to say, oh yeah, this was the low. I'm going to use the bodies of the candle, right? So we had this break. This break gave us a confirm this low, right? Because this was still part of the trend, right? So here we had this low and this high. This low obviously broke, which then gave us this high and this low. Then we had boom, change of character, right? Change of character was, I'm gonna use this green candle. Price pushed up, gave us a pullback, right? That would have been the entry, right? Then we had price break up above, retest on the 200 EMA to continue going up. Now again, why wouldn't this entry up here, I wouldn't take it because now we're getting close to the daily high. But again, since we missed this trade at 4 in the morning, um that was it. That was the entry though. Somewhere here, one of these two legs would have been the entry. Either way, it would have been the same. Stop loss would be, I would put it always below the neckline here, right? Because I want to get in with a good amount of, a good stop loss. I'm not gonna be risking 28, 30 pips, 15 pips, right? So I'm gonna find the most accurate at this point, which would be the neckline. So about 10 pips, right? That would be the risk to then continue going up. It would have been 50 pips. So GJ was good, right? It did exactly what we wanted to do, right? Pulled back, 38.2 retracement, which is the blue line that we had drawn out. It went into our 30-minute zone, respected our 30-minute zone, right? So, not bad. Um, GU, yeah, we talked about that already. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys don't have any questions, feel free to join our Discord. If if um wait a second. Join the Discord. I'll put the link. I was just looking for the link real quick. We'll put it in the YouTube chat. So but yeah, guys, peace out. Hit you guys up tomorrow. We'll see you guys later tonight during the isolation class. Peace out.